Hello there, this is RomWills coming back at you with yet another video. A woman's true desire is anarchic. It is really anarchic. It's really more just out there. Her true desire. Now, I know a lot of people will talk about a woman going for that man who has money or that man who's in a certain position in a church, and that happens. That happens. But her true desire, a woman can sleep with whoever. She can have sex with whoever. And I know that goes against a lot what people are saying, but remember what I'm saying, her true desire. Because what women do now was really used to be enforced by men. Men had control. Like when you had situations where a man was giving a woman away at a wedding, he had control over that. Shoot, indeed, it used to be a situation where a woman could not marry a man without her father's permission. So they were mainly doing what the men wanted. Men were establishing the order, because if women are left to their own devices, and I'll get more into that in my more sit-down video, they'll have sex with whoever. You know, a lot of dudes might think, well, I got all this money, I got this position, I got this status, and they're gonna get some women, but then it's a situation like when you have a millionaire, and that millionaire think he getting everybody, but then that millionaire doubles back home one day and he find out his woman, his wife, whatever she is to him, is sleeping with the gardener. Is sleeping with that guy who don't have the same status. And see, that's what the woman really wants. See, you can tell what a woman really wants when you find out who she would have sex with. And it's not about his money, it's not about his status, his position. And even though I've talked a lot about social classes and subcultures and stuff like that, even that, who does she really want? In fact, I haven't talked about the sexual shadow world in a long time. That's who a woman really wants. It really does come down to just some genetics. That's when you really find out what a woman wants. See, understand something with women out here. Women, they will marry a man, they will hook up with a man according to whatever the social standard is, whatever the thing is. If they are in a certain social class, they are expected to marry someone of that class. If they are in a certain religion, maybe a subculture, they will tend to stay with that, especially with religion. Like if they're good, I'll throw it out. If they're a good Christian girl, they ain't expected to get anything other than a good Christian man. They expected to stay in a certain thing. Or if they of a certain race, let's just be real, let's throw race into it. Certain women of certain races aren't expected to marry men of other races. All of that is social though. When you leave it up to a woman, her true desire, if you were to put a lie detector up to her, she could get with whoever. And I would even say even when you talk about these women talking about they want to get with a tall man, a lot of that is still social too. A woman can get with whoever. I've talked about that before. I said women might have an ideal type, but then they have an open type. They can get with whoever. They can have sex with 2 men in a day. They can have sex with one type of man in the morning, maybe that more social type of guy who got that money, got that position, got that status, but then sleep in the evening with somebody who lacks all of that. That more lacks her, points to her true desire. It doesn't follow any sort of order. See, order was introduced by men. And it is nothing, I mean, that's just how men are. But if you really look in history, who would the woman cheat with? And that's usually where you see what's up. Because even now, women, especially older women, they'll get that one guy for a good marriage, maybe even some children. And let me I'll get into that children thing in a second. But The other guy that they will actually get with might be the total opposite. Might not have anything. Shoot, guess I mean that's been total. Like a woman will cheat with a man who has none of that. That's more recognizing what she really wants. She can sleep with whoever. And with the children thing, that's why I've said before, paternity testing should be mandatory. That's why, I mean, the number that somebody threw out one time was up to 40% of men are not the father. And those are just the ones who are cheating. Those are the ones who are testing, rather. They can get with whoever. That's why I say it could be whatever. But like back before they had paternity testing, the woman's relatives would come around. They knew. They knew. Shoot. And shoot, even now, like I said, that should be mandatory, because a woman can sleep with whoever. Remember, the order thing was really imposed by men. Even when people are talking about that whole hypergamy thing, true hypergamy is just a woman moving up in social class. That's what true hypergamy is. There's nothing genetic about it. It is nothing genetic about it. It's really her moving up in social class. But as I've said, only very beautiful women can actually do that. Because if you get a man, he's making $1 million. He wants a beautiful woman. He don't care about what her social class is or anything like that. As long as she look good. As long as she got that progression. Yeah, let me do the progression real quick for some of y'all. Yeah, she got that nice face card. She got that head, those nice breastises, that snatch waist, that nice old butt dunk, those nice hips, those thick thighs, which save lives. Those nice calves, which you gotta have. Shoot, those nice toes. Shoot, and in fact, you get some women, acculturated prostitutes, or as the honorable Pimp God will call them, acceptable hoes, who do just that. They know what they getting. But I would tell the guys who get a woman like that, double back home one day. Just double back home. See what you might see. But that her true desire is that guy. That guy might not have that money. He might. But it ain't about his money. Even when a woman gets with a guy, if that's her true desire, it's not about how much money he got, his position. And in fact, when they dip into the shadow world, that's usually where that's the guy they want. If anything, you could say it's more genetic. But see, different women like different things. And it's not always even what people think. It might not be like that super handsome man. It might not be that guy with 8% body fat. That's becoming more of an order thing. A woman can get with whoever, no telling what can get her off. I've known situations where women have gotten with short-statured men, because that's what they wanted. Or situations where women will get with some big old dude because that's what they wanted. See, they just get that when we're talking about anarchy. It's no order to it. That's all it is. It don't have any rules to it. They can get with whoever, whenever. All right. And I'll get some more into it in the next couple sit-down videos. All right. So anyway, that's all I have for today. Now I'll get back with y'all. Well, I always say that. I'll get back with y'all later on today. You know, I got to do a car video. I got car rhyme, got to talk about something. All right. Anyway, I'll get back with y'all. Peace.